Commandant Thelzix observed the extreme environment survival course with grim satisfaction. 20 elite cadets had been deployed to Frost 7, an ice world where temperatures averaged -70°C. The challenge was brutal but simple: survive 10 days with minimal equipment. Most species, the Commandant explained to his staff, will enter metabolic hibernation. Reduced activity, lowered body temperature, minimal movement. Standard cold weather survival protocol. By day 2, the pattern was clear. Vrelian cadets had burrowed into snow caves and entered torpor. Korthians linked together in heat-sharing clusters, their metabolism slowed to a crawl. The silicon-based Quarians simply shut down non-essential functions. Every species followed their biological programming: conserve energy, wait it out, survive through stillness. Except the human. Elena Volkov's biometric readings showed she was not only active but moving constantly. Her heart rate was elevated. Her body temperature remained stable. Most confusing, she appeared to be crafting something. What is the human doing? Thelzix demanded, pulling up her drone feed. Elena had spent the first day hunting the local wildlife, large, fur-covered herbivores similar to musk oxen. Using a makeshift spear, she'd taken down 3 animals. But instead of simply eating them and sheltering, she'd done something unexpected. She was making clothes. With a knife fashioned from sharpened ice and bone needles she'd carved herself, Elena systematically skinned the animals. She scraped the hides clean using a flat stone, then laid them out to freeze dry in the brutal wind. While other cadets hibernated, she worked methodically, cutting patterns, punching holes with a bone awl, threading sinew through the perforations. By day 4, she'd created mittens lined with fur. By day 5, a hooded parka. By day 6, insulated boots and pants. By day 7, she wore a complete thermal suit that would have impressed professional Arctic explorers. Impossible, the Commandant muttered. She has no equipment, no training in. Sir, an assistant interrupted, human historical records indicate they've been creating clothing from animal hides for over 100,000 years. It's one of their fundamental survival technologies. Elena's suit was a masterpiece of practical design. Multiple layers trapped air for insulation. The fur faced outward to shed wind and snow. She'd even created a face mask with a breathing vent that prevented her breath from freezing. The craftsmanship would have been impressive with modern tools, doing it with bones and stones was extraordinary. But she didn't stop there. With her new thermal protection, Elena became mobile in conditions that paralyzed other species. She built a proper shelter, not a survival cave, but an igloo constructed from precisely cut ice blocks using techniques the Inuit had perfected centuries ago. She set fishing lines through ice holes. She created a ventilated fire pit that burned animal fat for heat and light. By day 8, while other cadets remained in metabolic hibernation, Elena had established what could only be described as a comfortable camp. She even carved decorative patterns into her igloo walls because, as she explained to the monitoring drones, just because you're surviving doesn't mean you can't have nice things. Commandant Thelzix was baffled. Her species has no fur, no hibernation capability, no natural cold resistance. How is she thriving? His assistant pulled up more data. Humans evolved as persistence hunters in African heat, sir. They should be the worst species for cold environments. But they compensated by becoming the galaxy's best adaptive engineers. They didn't evolve to survive cold, they invented how to survive it. On extraction day, the hibernating cadets slowly emerged from their shelters, groggy and depleted. Their metabolisms had preserved them, but barely. Elena greeted the transport ship wearing her handmade thermal suit, well-fed, energetic, and carrying several dried meat packs she'd prepared as souvenirs. Cadet Volkov, Thelzix addressed her, your approach violated every standard cold-weather survival protocol. Yes, sir, Elena agreed cheerfully. You remained active when you should have conserved energy. You expended calories hunting when you should have minimized movement. You wasted time crafting when you should have been sheltering. Yes, sir. It was the most effective cold-weather survival performance in Academy history. Elena grinned. Humans don't really do hibernation, sir. We get bored. So instead, we learn to make the environment adapt to us. These animals had amazing fur, seemed wasteful not to use it. She gestured to her suit. My ancestors survived ice ages by doing exactly this. They walked out of Africa wearing nothing, encountered glaciers, and said, well, guess we need better coats. Then they made them and kept walking. Thelzix updated the survival manual that night. New section, Human Adaptive Protocol, when hibernation fails, try sewing. The thermal suit Elena made became a museum exhibit at the Academy. The plaque beneath it read, Human Solution to Cold, if you can't grow fur, steal it and make it better.